I'm competing. So this is why people love my style.
All
This is
right,
why
and
people
we're
watch.
live. Can't stay with the volume for too long, but we got Rafael Lovato Jr. versus Nicholas Meregali. Should be a great match. A lot of questions in this match because we've never seen Rafael Lovato. Um, I'm sorry, we've never seen Nicholas Meregali fight a guy Nogi of the caliber of Rafael Lovato Jr. He's got this shirt on that says "Last round, best round." I love the concept of that shirt. That's something my sensei, my instructor, he always used to tell me. He used to say "Last one, best one" or "Last round, best round." Sometimes we would even do it as a callback. He would say "Last round," and the whole class would say "Best round." And the fact that Rafael Lovato has it on his shirt is pretty badass. Another thing that is fascinating here is you get to see the differences with Nicholas Meregali transitioning to no-gi. Um, the differences in what you could get away with as far as the friction of the gi compared to the slipperiness of no-gi, and how it looked like in his previous matches that Meregali needed to tighten up a couple things on some submission attempts and things like that, like the armbar, for example, last time, that he was used to more friction being involved with the gi competition and didn't need to act in exactly the same way on those slippery no gi mats. So it should be interesting the adjustments that he's made with Danaher. He's already probably the best gi player in the world, and with Danaher's coaching, it makes him a really scary kind of guy for Nogi. And then you have Rafael Lovato Jr. on the other end, who is pretty much as experienced as it gets. He's got the Bellator Championship under his belt, I guess you would say, in his room of accomplishments that he's done, and it's a guy that's pretty much been everywhere, done everything, and just has super high level, high caliber jiu-jitsu. He's one of these guys too, Rafael Lovato, that has retired like so many times. He just retired a couple days ago at the last Gi Worlds, even though that he's fighting in this event, and he'll probably do competitions for the rest of his life. Um, so I don't know if that whole retiring thing makes much sense, but he's back doing his thing. I wonder too how his brain is, where he had like some crazy tumor situation that needed to take him out of MMA, and he gave up his Bellator belt so that it could be fought for. But regardless, the tail of the tape is Nicholas Meregali's 27, Rafael Lovato's 39. Meregali's 6'2" to Rafael's 6'3". That doesn't sound right at all. Um, I missed the weight. Let me go back. Meregali's 224.8 and Lovato's 223.8. So pretty much the same. Um, oh man, did I make it so it's not live? All right. Well, I hope I'm live. Exactly. And you saw Lovato come out with his arms out, and that's a classic tribute to Leandro Lowe. Doing some hand fighting here in the center. Rafael Lovato being very aggressive. If I was Rafael Lovato, I would want to play it for a long time in the standing game, be very aggressive in the wrestling, and I would want to be on top for this whole match. I believe that's where he would have the advantage, and it doesn't look like he's pulling guard anytime soon, doing some serious collar ties here. And my prediction so far for the night is going to be no submissions in any match, and just Mika Galvao, which that's what happened. And then probably Felipe Pena is going to tap, is my predictions. And if I got that right for watching every match, that'd be pretty wild. So I think this one's going to go the whole 15 minutes. And I think Rafael Lovato's experience is really going to play a factor here. Sometimes when you're going against a guy like Nicholas Meregali, if you're just doing pure jujitsu with him the whole time, it's almost like you're a sinking ship. And, you want to have this like free flowing ability to just play every position and do everything. But that's not always what wins you the decision in the tournament. And it's interesting. You kind of get in the more experienced competitor a lot of times them really only going in and dictating the pace on their terms or dictating the exchanges on their terms. And that's what I think Lovato is going to do here. It seems like both guys want to be on top, but it should be an interesting question how long they're going to stay standing in this wrestling position and if Meregali is going to pull guard at all. It should be interesting because I think they both probably have a better advantage from being on top. Oh, a nice takedown attempt from Nicholas Meregali. Beautiful stuff here. Let's see how Lovato reacts. He goes into his closed guard. That was a beautiful double underhooks to what was that, an Uchimata? I don't even want to go back. But man, unexpected for Meregali to get a takedown like that on Lovato. I really had Lovato as having the wrestling edge there. Great stuff from Meregali. And he stands up here. Lovato having a great classic close guard, but it's open now, and I wonder if Lovato is going to try to stand back up here, or what that's going to look like. Lovato inverts underneath, playing a very active De La Hiva game, but if it's my guess, Lovato does not want to be here doing this right now. Oh, a nice single leg X guard kind of attempt here into a leg reaping Ashigarami type scenario. Very scrambly here. Meregali has like a classic way to backstep out of this position. He seems to go for that same attempt every time. I wonder if anyone watching who's one of his future opponents will take notes on that specific way Meregali likes to defend these leg locking transitions. Lovato looking for some more leg entanglement type action, and Meregali looking like he's going to pass here to side control. Good stuff from Meregali. Now, if I was Lovato, I would try to get up, get out of here, and stand back up. It does not look good, Lovato being in this position here, pinned on the ground. But the question is, does Meregali have the submission finishing mechanics to be able to submit a guy like Lovato? Because that is no easy task. A nice back take attempt here, and Lovato uses it to recompose his guard. Beautiful stuff. It seems like Lovato is really content to play off of his back here, and I just don't see that as a good strategy, as, like I'm saying, Meregali just goes through and knee cuts once again. I love Meregali's knee cutting style because it's less of an actual knee cut itself, but what he does is he positions his own frames on top in such a way that any which way that you move to go and defend that knee cutting position, you're actually letting him through. And you almost like have the knee cut done to yourself from the way that Meregali fights the inside positioning with his hands and legs. And he sort of makes it like a battle of attrition, which is great stuff on that knee cut. But as I said, it's going to be hard to submit Lovato here. Lovato's got to be careful. He recomposes guard because he sort of gave up his back a little bit in that kind of transition, but he doesn't want to give up his back here again. The thing is, if you could see the back, you could take the back. And the way that he was turning so aggressively into Meregali can see his back. Meregali knows for sure how to take the back, and if you leave the back exposed, Meregali will be there to take it. And, yep, Lovato gets his guard back here. Good stuff from Lovato. I'm sure he would much prefer to be on top, but it's interesting to see the way that these two are matching up here. Meregali with his patented way that he steps out of the leg entanglement position now in the front headlock, and Lovato using this as an opportunity to stand up and get back to his feet. We have a match on our hands. 8 minutes and 50 seconds left. I wonder if Meregali will pull guard here. Surprising to see Meregali take Lovato down. That is no easy task earlier in this match. Some collar ties here. The pace is slowed down a little bit in the match. There's a lot of tough exchanges, and a lot of times competitors will use this time period right here now as a time to take a little break, a little breather. And you got to know, if you're an experienced competitor like both of these guys are, when those break times are where you don't have to go super hard the entire time. Meregali throwing some foot sweeps at Lovato. Lovato has seen it before. And they train a lot of judo over there at Six Blades, where he's from, with Janji and Salo. So hard to catch Lovato in a foot sweep. Yep, he goes for it again, and Lovato's wise to it, planting those feet deep on and into the mat. And we see a little bit of camera angle of Danaher and Gordon. It should be a really interesting match with Gordon and Felipe. I have a lot of thoughts on that one. I'll be going live for that event too. 7:18 left in this Nicholas Meregali versus Rafael Lovato match. I wonder if Meregali is going to pull guard, because double underhooks again for Meregali, and then another takedown. Wow, very surprising, very surprising. Into a nice control of the body here in the top half guard position for Meregali, looking to control the head, that critical cranial shift, and then classically bring the other leg in to free the trapped leg of the half guard. Lovato trying to work in an underhook here. But, man, it's going to be really tough to finish Lovato. I wonder, too, if Meregali ways I've seen Meregali finish is generally like with an armbar type thing. Your connection is unstable. Well, I hope we stay on and everything works out just fine. I got 5 viewers. That's a lot for me. Throw something in the chat. 6 viewers. It might shut down the entire internet or the whole stream. But this is a good fight right here. Meregali in the top half guard, but man, it's tough to finish a guy like Lovato. I just wonder if he has that great rear naked choke finishing ability with that submission being so high percentage. And Meregali moving into the mount for a second, but Lovato replaces. It's cool, too, to see Lovato's elite level guard recovery here, that Meregali really can't be sloppy with his passing, because Lovato will recompose his guard. But also, Meregali's got to be heavy enough and kind of surf in a way on top of Lovato to make sure Lovato doesn't go back and make this into another standing position type situation. Up, and Meregali's got this kind of head and arm choke / like rear naked choke. A lot of times people are calling this like rear naked choke with the arm inside, like an Ezekiel variation. But it's also like tied in with the half guard passing into a katagatame type situation. So it could be like a couple different situations in one. It could serve you in the guard passing. It could be a back attempt. This is Ezekiel. This is what he's got now. Ooh, this is looking deep. This is a bad situation for Lovato. This is a modern-day Ezekiel, or like a rear naked strangle with the arm inside. But it looks like the hands came unclasped. Yep, and Lovato seems safe from this position now. He's just in the bottom of the mat with Nicholas Meregali, a world champion. So Lovato doesn't seem to be winning this match so far. So far, it's been Meregali dominating the action, but again, going to be a hard guy to finish. Lovato does not give up easily, even in his advanced years. Almost 40 years old, Lovato, but a tough mother effer. We got one like on the video. John K, thanks. Thanks, John K. Really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting and throwing something in the chat. Shout out to John K. Much love. And Lovato, surprisingly here, is kind of giving up his elbow position. I wonder, there Meregali goes and starts taking it and moves into that figure four arm lock. A basic mistake here from Lovato. Very surprising to see him kind of make that beginner mistake. Maybe also it's one of those maneuvers where it's a beginner mistake, but it's an advanced person's win, where the elbow is technically past the center line, but it's not too far where Lovato can't recover it. So he's making Meregali commit to a position and then still escaping. But he's got to be careful, giving up his back and giving up this Ezekiel type strangulation here, because this is a real threat. There's been a couple of these this night attempting to finish this kind of thing with J-Rod there he goes. He takes the back now. Now I'm very curious to see Meregali's finishing ability from this back positioning. Does he have the Danaher system of how to trap the arm and finish the strangle on high-level opponents here? If he does, this could win him the match, and if he doesn't, it will probably result in a non-submission. 2 minutes, 19 seconds left here. Should be interesting. They're doing the classic, oh no, he wasn't in this position routine. I had this over here. He didn't have this. This isn't how we ended. And they seem to come to some sort of agreement, and Meregali goes to try to attempt the rear naked. And he seems to be looking for that cross wrist control. Oh, he looks to trap an arm here. Good stuff from Meregali. Good stuff. Let's see if Lovato can pummel the arm back inside. He does. He does. When you go, he's got the cross wrist. He has been training it. But the question is, does he have the ability to get it on a guy the caliber of Lovato? And at this stage of the match, things are really slippery and sweaty when they're almost 15 minutes in, and really switching back and forth on these rear naked strangle attempts. Good stuff from Meregali. It looks like he definitely has been practicing this back attack system, but just making sure that you could do it on the highest caliber of opponents like Gordon can takes some time. But he's really digging here for this rear naked strangle. Another strategy that you could use here is the way that he's attacking on the back makes Lovato support their weight with his actual physical hands. And it makes it difficult to hand fight, keeping your elbows on the mat and trying to defend your arm, or trying to defend your neck, at the same time, is another way to hand fight by making the guy carry weight with his hands. 46 seconds left here. Let's see if my predictions are accurate, that there will be no submission in this match, and that the only submission will be from Mika Galvao and Gordon submitting Penna. 28 seconds. I doubt there will be a submission in this match. Lovato beautifully recovers half guard. Really great stuff. I love that elite level guard retention from Lovato. And it's interesting the type of pressure that Meregali puts. There's not like this finality to the positions. He seems to really like to encourage a lot of movement and be more opportunistic in his submission attempts. 3, 2, 1, and that's time. Great match for both guys. As I predicted, no submission from this match, but a Meregali clean sweep victory. And shout out to both competitors there. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. It seems like Meregali is understanding more and more and more about how to get things going no-gi, but Lovato is just such an ace, such an experienced competitor. And now I'm extremely excited for the main event. I'll be popping back on. Make sure if you're one of the 6 people watching, hop on and watch me commentate the Philippe versus Gordon match. I believe I got the best commentary out there with the highest level match breakdowns, where you would learn the most from my stream. So if you want, give that a watch. Showing that beautiful takedown. I wonder if they were training with Danaher any ways to kind of get to those double underhooks where you're setting things up through the collar tie so that you could get to those takedowns, or if that was something that was in Meregali's arsenal, how he came about doing that maneuver or technique. Anyway, much love, guys, and I will see you back in a couple minutes for the Gordon versus Penna match. Very exciting. Much love and peace.